Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Let's talk about texting. Not the surface level stuff, not the copy-paste one-liners, but the real strategy, the art, the mindset behind the messages. Because if you want to attract a woman, not just grab her attention for 5 minutes, but actually attract her, you need more than just a phone and a few emojis. You need presence. You need emotional composure. You need a mindset that doesn't just come from dating books or TikTok advice. You need a Stoic mind. Stoicism isn't about being cold or distant. It's about being rooted, grounded, unshakable, and when you text from that place, you become someone she can't help but notice. Because while everyone else is playing games or chasing validation, you're doing something very different. You're living by your values. You're not reacting, you're responding. You're in control of yourself, and that's rare. Every time you send a text, you're sending more than just words. You're sending energy, anxiety or confidence, scarcity or abundance, neediness or calm. A woman can feel it, even through a screen. That's why the words you choose, the timing, the rhythm, they all matter. Not because you're manipulating, but because you're creating a space. A digital space where she can feel intrigued, safe and connected. The Stoic approach to texting is about intentional communication. You're not texting just to fill time. You're texting with a clear purpose. And that purpose isn't to impress her. It's to express yourself with clarity, respect and calm confidence. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." So what does that mean in texting? It means you don't mirror chaos, you don't chase, you don't overreact if she takes hours to respond. You stay calm, grounded, focused on your own path. You never let someone else's behavior pull you out of character. Instead of double texting or over-explaining, you send one thoughtful message and move on with your day. Because you have a life. You have purpose, your time is valuable, and you respect hers too. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're not ruled by impulse. You're not texting to get a reaction. You're texting to build a real connection. A lot of guys think more words will get more interest. But when your texts are clear, composed, and a little bit mysterious, you stand out. You don't need to write novels. You don't need to send 10 messages in a row. You just need to say something real, something intentional, and then let her come to you. Here's a truth most guys overlook. Women want to feel like they're choosing you, not like you're trying to force your way in. So create space. Let the silence breathe. Let her curiosity rise. And when you do say something, make it count. Stoicism teaches us to separate what we can control from what we can't. And in dating, this is everything. You can't control if she texts back in 5 minutes or 5 hours. You can't control if she's in a bad mood or super busy, but you can control how you respond. This is where most people get it wrong. They spiral, they overthink, they misread everything. But the Stoic texter, he's steady. He doesn't let unanswered texts shake him. He doesn't assume the worst. He gives her space to be human, and that's incredibly attractive because it shows maturity. It shows depth. It shows you don't need her to complete you. You want her, but you don't need her. And that difference, that's everything. When you're texting from a place of presence, your messages feel different. You're not distracted. You're not trying to say what you think she wants to hear. You're tuned in. You're listening. You're aware. And that makes a woman feel something real, because most people are texting out of boredom, ego, or fear. But you're texting from presence, from stillness, from strength. And when your energy is aligned with that, your words don't have to be perfect. She'll feel you. Here's another texting shift. Stop trying to impress and start getting curious. Ask her questions, not just about what she does, but what she believes, what lights her up, what challenges her, what she's afraid of. And then really listen. Stoics are observant. They don't speak just to speak. They observe, they ask, they reflect. And when you bring that into your texting, the conversation goes from small talk to something she remembers, because you're not trying to win her over. You're inviting her into something deeper, and that's rare. Don't be afraid to speak with conviction. A lot of guys water themselves down over text. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing, so they end up saying nothing meaningful at all. But a Stoic man, he speaks honestly, kindly, clearly. If you like her, say so. Not with a grand declaration, but with realness. If something bothers you, communicate it, with respect, without blame. Women don't resist confidence. They respect it, especially when it's rooted in emotional intelligence. So, own your voice, speak with purpose, and let the chips fall where they may. Now let's talk about silence. Most people are terrified of it. They rush to fill it with emojis, LOLs, random GIFs. But you know silence is a message too. Sometimes not texting back immediately says more than any sentence. It says, I'm not waiting by my phone. I've got things to do. I'll respond when I'm ready. And when you finally do, your words carry more weight. Stoicism teaches us to pause before we react, to sit with the moment, to not be a slave to urgency. So use silence wisely. It's not punishment, it's power. Be consistent, be kind, be present. But don't get attached to outcomes. If she doesn't respond how you hoped, don't spiral. If she's hot and cold, stay centered. Your value doesn't rise or fall based on someone else's mood. Texting from a Stoic place means you show up authentically without needing approval. That kind of energy, it's rare, it's refreshing, it's unforgettable. And if she's the right one, she'll meet you there. Texting isn't about saying the right thing, it's about being the right presence. A presence that's calm, clear, grounded in values, not validation. That's what makes you different. That's what women feel, and that's what they can't resist. Then speak with purpose, listen with presence, and let your energy, not just your words, do the talking. Because when you master yourself, you master attraction. And when you master attraction, you don't chase. We're talking about true masculine energy, the kind that radiates calmness, presence, direction. When a woman receives a text from a man who's rooted in that energy, she feels something most guys can't provide: safety and intention. She doesn't feel rushed. She doesn't feel played. She feels like she's engaging with someone who knows who he is, where he's going, and who doesn't lose himself just because he's attracted to her. Most men don't realize it, but masculine energy in texting isn't about saying alpha things. It's about consistency without obsession. It's about clarity without over-explaining. It's about being warm but never needy. And when you send a message from that space, she'll notice, she'll lean in, she'll respond to the energy behind your words, not just the words themselves. There's a fine line between detachment and disinterest. A Stoic man isn't cold. He's not distant. He's just not attached to a specific outcome. If she replies, great. If she doesn't, also fine. Your sense of peace doesn't hang on a notification. You're not texting to escape your boredom or loneliness. You're already full. And ironically, when women sense that you're not trying to get anything from them, they feel more drawn to you. You become the rare guy who respects their space, who doesn't need them for validation, who offers calm, energy in a world full of noise. Detachment is powerful because it creates space for genuine connection, not performance. Here's a truth that most men resist. You don't need to always be available. In fact, being too available makes your presence less valuable. If you're always texting back instantly, if you're always the one initiating, if you're constantly online just waiting for her next message, you're unknowingly communicating that you don't have much else going on. But if you're building your life, working on your goals, your health, your mind, then your time is already rich. You respond when it aligns with your life, not when your phone buzzes. And that creates natural polarity, because now your attention means something. It's earned, It's intentional. It's not just thrown around. That's what Stoicism teaches us, to value your time, your energy, your peace. And when you live like that, women feel it. And they'll naturally want to be a part of that world. So let's bring it all together. Texting isn't about tricks. It's about energy, intention, self-mastery. And Stoicism gives you the tools to lead with strength, not need, to communicate without desperation, to connect without losing yourself.